We can talk about anything in order to understand that no matter what, it's Dhamma.
So I want to ask about of dhatus.
So what's the meaning of Dhatu? What's the nature? What is the truth of Dhatu? Is it real?
Yes,
Ajahn.
Ajahn.
So whatever is real has its own characteristic, appearing to be known that it's real. Is that right?
Yes.
So all dhammas are Dhatu. Is that right?
Yes, Ajahn.
Not cling to the word, because Buddha say about the group of this reality or that by way of Dhatu or by way of such and such. But there has to be understanding of the nature of that in order to understand why it's there as this group. See, as the group of Dhatu, even all are Dhatus. So how many Dhatu, how many kinds, the nature of Dhatu. It doesn't matter the number at all. So what Dhatu would you like to talk about?
Mano dhatu, Ajahn.
Okay, what is Mano?
The mind doorway.
Mano is Citta, right?
Yes, Ajahn.
But Citta are different by way of some Citta experience object through 5 doorways and some only 1 doorway. Is that right?
Yes.
Can seeing is that which sees through mind door? When we talk about Vijnana Dhatu, the seeing is Vijnana Dhatu. Even it's Citta, but it's the Citta which experiences the object through the eye door only. Even it's Citta, but it cannot experience the object through the mind door. It sees, so it is Vijnana Dhatu. That's why how many Dhatu under this category? When we learn about Dhatu, Buddha sums up what are there as Dhatu, how many group of them. Because Citta has its function to perform, different moment, different Dhatu. It's
Yes,
so
Ajahn.
good if you are interested to understand, but understand the nature of reality, not just the word. Which group is it? But talking about Dhatu, how many Dhatu? By way of group. When we talk about Citta, it's that which is the chief of experiencing the object, never change. But there are so many different Cittas, different way of being. Listen carefully to each word, not just the whole at once.
Okay, Ajahn.
Okay. Have you heard about Chakku Vinyana Dhatu?
Yes, Ajahn.
1 and
Sota vinyana dhatu.
are they the same?
No, different reality.
That's why there is one Chakku Vinyana Dhatu, Sota Vinyana Dhatu, and what else?
Khana vinyana dhatu.
Okay. Can Panchatavara Vachana see or hear?
It
This
cannot
is
see, but
learning. Learn little by little. It cannot see. So can Panchatavara Vachana be Chakku Vinyana Dhatu?
no.
That's why. How many Chakku Vinyana Dhatu?
Only one.
Kusala, Vipaka, or
And
Akusala.
akusala vipaka.
But by way of Dhatu, it is Chakku Vinyana Dhatu, right?
Dhatu, yes.
They understand the nature, the truth, the reality, not just the word. Because each word has its own meaning.
Yes, Ajahn.
That's why Panchatavara Vachana, how many doorway can it experience? When Panchatavara Vachana experience object?
5.
5 doorway. So it's another group, but no Dhatu. Not Chakku Vinyana Dhatu, Sota Vinyana Dhatu, but it is no Dhatu because it can experience or 5 doorways object, one by one. But it can experience, not see, not hear, but just know that the object is there at the doorway. So it cannot be Chakku Viññāna Dhatu, Sota Viññāna. It can be Mano Dhatu because it can experience 5 objects.
Yes, ข้าพเจ้า
This is the way to gradually let go, the cling to the word, to the moment of thinking, moment of liking and so on, not understanding any truth of each moment at all. They are different and very complex because it seems that they are all together, now seeing and hearing and thinking. But the enlightenment of the Buddha, enlightened to the truth, the nature that arises and falls away in split second, even it is Citta, which experience the object by different moments, by different function, and so on. As the Dhatu, we have to learn how many are there, because they are different. How many ways they are different. By way of Dhatu, Chakku Viññāna Dhatu, so on. So, how many Cittas experience 5 objects through 5 doorways? Listen to just one reality at a time. Otherwise, they are mixed up. No one can understand the way it is so complex. But the teaching of the enlightened one, enlighten the truth of each reality, each moment, each object. That's why we learn to understand the virtues of the Buddha. Otherwise, no one can understand anything at all in life as it is. So listen again. How many Cittas experience 5 objects, not only one object. It can experience 5 objects through 5 doorways. Because Chakku Viññāna experience only one object to one doorway.
Yes,
But how many Cittas can experience 5 objects, not only one? What's the answer, please?
มโนทวารอาจารย์ครับ
Wrong. I asked about 5, is it? Listen. Mano-dhamma vajra citta. Experience what object? Can Mano-dhamma vajra see? Is there any book about the Dhatu? How many Dhatu are there? Viññāna Dhatu, that which experience the object. So you heard from somewhere and you just want to know, but without any basic understanding, little by little firmly or firm enough. So it's just the book knowledge. But when there is moment of understanding the reality, which is not easy to realize at all, because it doesn't have any shape, color, smell, or anything at all. Imagine the reality which experience one object at a time. But they are different because some of them can experience 5 objects and some can experience only one object. See? Even it's Citta, even it experiences the object, but they are different. They cannot be the same. That's right. Buddha taught about different kinds of Viññāna Dhatu, about Citta only. That's right. Before there can be understanding enough to go deeper and deeper to the truth, to eradicate the akusala stage by stage. It's not easy at all. So very deep and so subtle. So I talk about Viññāna Dhatu. Everyone knows we mean Citta, right?
Yes ครับอาจารย์
Okay. But the question I asked for anyone to think about it, not just to remember the number. How many Cittas experience one object only? See? Can it be question, not the number? Just what kind of Citta? What Citta can experience only one object? See, very simple, not number yet. We learn about different dhatu, different kind of dhatu of vijnana, right? If there's no one else, we just talk about vijnana dhatu, chakku vijnana dhatu, experience visible objects. But when the question, just a little more considering, we talk about how many citta can experience only one object. A little more understanding that reality cannot be changed at all by this way or the other way. It depends on understanding. If there's not understanding, just remembering, one can say how many, chakku vijnana, sota vijnana. But what about the understanding? What the question is, it means that there are other cittas which experience more objects, see, a little more understanding to let go what is there in life, to be reminded. Listen, just test the understanding. How many dhatus? By way of vijnana dhatu. That's the way to understand no matter Dhamma is divided into different groups or different manners, different way. What are the difference are there? To be the moment of letting go, ignorance, attachment, because ignorance is so very enormous. Just one word, or Dhammas are dhatu, not enough. Even the word dhatu can be classified by different dhatus, by way of vijnana dhatu. See? When the question is, how many vijnana dhatu which can experience only one object? It means that you have heard about the processes. Each one perform different function.
10 Citta vijnana.
Why? The answer has to be according to the question. How many vijnana dhatu experience one object? So the answer is chakku vijnana dhatu experience only one object. Sota vijnana dhatu experience one object. Mana vijnana dhatu experience one. This is just review about what has been learned or heard before, not to forget, but by different way there can be the clear understanding or exact understanding of each one, precise more and more, little by little. And this is the very subtle way to let go ignorance. Because just learn by way of number and so on, it cannot condition to be moment of attending to what we have learned about each different one, vijnana. See, Dhamma is so very subtle. It has to be very clear understanding. That is Pariyatti. No matter by what way or what topic, it has to be answered because the understanding of that object is clear and not forgotten.
I'm still wondering whether Pariyatti has to be about understanding seeing now.
If we don't talk about it, what condition the understanding of seeing? Not enough, or is it enough now to be the second round?
When it is firm enough.
So how can it be firm enough? When it, but how? So even the word how many citta experience one object, so very subtlety, very slightly, that it's the way of understanding little by little about seeing right now. Not just, seeing is the reality which experiences the object, no matter when, just seeing is that which sees, and that's only that. But there can be a little more careful considering, because without careful and wisely considering, what is there now cannot be realized, cannot be known, cannot be thought about at all. Even thinking about it, not at all in a day, if we don't talk about it. So just talk about seeing sees anytime, but what about how many citta which experience one object? It's like the food for considering the truth. No food at all, nothing to consider. Even it's there, see. But different ways, the truth by different manners. It can be talked about, it can be asked, it can be considered. Is it useless? Or it's the way not to think about the other thing at that moment. That is parami, see. So very subtle. And we think just about the straight way, just talking that seeing sees, that's all.
Yes, then Ajahn, now I
We do not
understand.
understand. All by conditions.
ท่านอาจารย์คะ that means we have to be confident in the teaching that abhidhamma anatta, right?
Each one has to be considered about that which is now appearing. But who can be aware with understanding of that without understanding little by little by different ways, different manner, different questions? See?
Yes.
So now begin again, study Dhamma to understand Dhamma, not to understand the number. Right? So that's why we have to know what is Dhamma, to know that we are now studying Dhamma. Dhamma is seeing right now. And what about Citta before seeing? So how many Citta experience just one object? See? All are Dhammas now.
Yes, that's right, Ajahn. That's
firmer.
right.
Even we don't count the number of Dhatu as 18 Dhatu by way of Dawei. See? When we talk about Dhatu, 18 by Dawei, right? Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, experience only its object, only one object, one Dawei. But the other Citta, we learn from the book, the number, Panchatavara Vachana Citta, Manodavara Vachana Citta, are they different by what? It can experience 5 objects through 5 Dawei only. And how many of them? Panchatavara Vachana, Sampatichana, experience only 5 Dawei. 1 Panchatavara Vachana, and 2 Sampatichana, Kusala Vipaka, Akusala Vipaka. Why do we learn about the name? It's there right now, unseen, unknown. Because what can be known has to be only through 6 Daways. Only. No matter in this world or in hell or in Deva, Brahma, only 6 Daways. That's why we learn about the 6th object through 6 Daways. That is there now, unknown, and how firm it is, as not I, not the word, it's not I, it sees, so on. That's not enough at all. Because learning Dhamma, no matter what way, degree, by way of intellectual understanding, Pariyatti, or Patipatti, or Pativita, is just about what is there now. Not known at all, to be known little by little, to have firm confidence, but not directly yet, even is there, arising and falling away. And how can it be conditioned to get closer to the truth, which is there now, little by little? If there is no understanding well enough, firm enough, clear enough, how can there be the second round? Doubt about this and that, I and Dhatu and so on, just talk about it. It's not just talk about it without understanding the truth. When we talk about Dhatu, 18 Dhatu, we don't mind the number, but the way, the understanding of how many Citta experience one object, see, it's by way of Dhatu, different Dawei. Sampatichana, see, experience how many Dawei? See, this is to let go, to have firm confidence of no self, not just by word or number, but by understanding, even it's not appearing, but it's there. It can be known through what doorway, see, the object of the minder and the object of the sensor, the five door and six door, see. Learn to understand no matter what is there in Tipitaka, the teachings of the Buddha, because he understands that it's so very helpful, it's so very precious. Without it, just by words doesn't make any progress at all. We have learned about Citta how long? It's still there. But the more understanding of each word, which is the way, understanding more is the only way to let go gradually, unknowingly, so subtly. That is the teachings about what is there right now. From eons and eons and eons and eons ago, unknown. In darkness, even it's so light now, seeing this and that, but no understanding of the truth at all. It's the word of atta, something. When there is the understanding of what is there now. It's Dhatu, but we don't have to name it or call it what Dhatu. But the reality is there to be known. But it cannot be the other Dhatu because it sees and so on. That's why even question has to be so useful for condition to consider a little more careful. But it depends. But the most important is no matter what question about number or the characteristic of how many doorways, it depends on understand it, but not to cling to it, to try to ask a question all about in a day. But understanding the point, no matter whether it's the question or not the question, just for development, understanding of the truth. Because it's there, see. And when we say seeing sees, it means one object, only one doorway, see. The most important is understanding the truth. So anyone interested in number, the 18 Dhatu, see, can study, but what for? Understanding the reality which is Dhatu right there, that is there, not known yet. So there are many ways for each different person, by each different accumulation, to understand the truth. One's own way, by one's own accumulated conditions. But what about understanding? Is there other citta which experience the object more than one doorway? See? To understand that each citta is different and learn more to understand more truth of it. Why it cannot experience the other doorway and why it can experience how many doorways and so on. The difference each moment. The basic, the foundation to let go, the idea of self. So very gradually, a little more firmer and firmer and firmer. Begin again, begin again, begin again. Because what has been heard, what is there, is covered up by other moment, ignorance, attachment, and other akusala. That's why begin again to open up the truth a little more, little by little, again and again.